Shabbat is that moment where we celebrate the miracle of creation. God created the world for 6 days, gave us a place to dwell within, and then rested, so we rest as well. The skies are a little thick today. And I think as we think about the wonders and miracles of creation, we also need to think about what our relationship is with the world around us. Part of the story of Genesis, of Bereshit, is God telling us that we need to be responsible for the world around us, that we need to care for the world around us, that we have to be in a relationship with the world around us that is healthy and helps keep this world here for us. While the wildfires are natural, we should think about what do we do within our relationship with the world so we don't just reap and take from it, but also give back and protect and nurture as well. So let us take a moment right now to think about the miracle of creation and our place within.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Allison Warzala, and it's so nice to see all of you cozy here in the Beit Midrash, and those of you who are joining us on the live stream. So glad that you're all here with us tonight. As we celebrate Dave Schlossberg's last night with us as our formal accompanist, we're not letting you go. You will still be coming back again. I know you will. But we're really pleased to have so many of you here with us this evening. And now I'd like to invite Montana Horowitz up to light the Shabbat candles. The blessings can be found on pages 2 and 3 in your prayer books. Shabbat shalom.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvah v'tzivanu lahad l'pnei Shabbat. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahad l'pnei Shabbat.
We continue with Lachado D on pages 20 and 21.
Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat lekavela. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat lekavela. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat lekavela. Dodi likrat kala. Shabbat nekavela, Shalom v'zator v'dibor echad, Ishmi'anu el haruchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila, Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki mekor ha'veracha, Ve'erosh mikeret mesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshavat tefila. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Mikdash melech v'yivnelucha, u'mitzei mitoch ha'ramecha, רגלך שבט בעמק הבכה, וחויה במועדייך. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Hitoreni, l'shem mitlei tivotechami, Agan benisha v'talachmi, korban el nafshi ada. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Hit'oreri, ki b'chorek u'bi'ori, uri shir gaveri, k'chol ha'rovayim nigla. Shivnoti kavi, mati shokavi, umatemi, makyekesu, amiye, amigni, etara, iratila, lechadodi, likakala, bene Shabbat, nekala, lechadodi, likakala, bene Shabbat, nekala, Jesus, Rosa, Iberakaku, Ove Bahai, Yassis Alai, Elohai, Kingsos Alpha, Adala, Lechadodi, Likakala, Bene Shabbat, Nekala, Lechadodi, Likakala, Bene Shabbat, Nekala, Yaminus Moti, Froti Me'antarunai, Tariti Al Yadish, Ben Parti Benis Mekam, Nagila, Lechadodi, Likakala, Ene Shabbat Nekala, Lechadodi, Likakala, Ene Shabbat Holy Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gambesimcha, Uvesola, Tokenei, Am Segula, Holy Bala, Lechadodi, Likakala, Ene Shabbat, Nekala, Lechadodi, Likakala, Ene Shabbat, Nekala.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 26 with Hatzikat.
Yitkara ve'yitkara shemei Rabba. Yalman yibrach yirutei v'yadlit malchutei. B'chayechonu yom echad, u'b'chayenu beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'bizman karim yimru. Amen. Yesh me'rama v'mora, le'alam yamel v'haya, yikara. Ve'yishtabach v'yita'ar v'yitroman v'yitnasei, ve'yitadar ve'yit'ale, ve'yithalal shemei de'kudusha. Le'ila min kol birchata v'shilata. Tushmechata v'nehemata, ta'amiram v'amavim.
We rise, either body or spirit, for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Page 31. This is
An hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change. Within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Amalei Amalei.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, ahavata. Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, ahavata. Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Akein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shomeinu v'kumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, nasiach bechukecha. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. V'nisma, v'nifrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orameinu, u'bahem v'ged yomam v'ma'ala. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Otanu limadeta. Otanu
Please be seated.
Asher Elohim Tzavcha, Hayom Alevaver ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברתם העם, בשבתך ובביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרת מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Standing on the parted shores of
History, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך רבו בניך, וגם מתיכות של מרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נאמר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נאמר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter from the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety,
And in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth, prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, shelter us beneath thy wings, oh awake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Yismechu b'malakutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malakutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Mekadeshi Sheni Shabbat, Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu, V'tamu B'tumecha Shabbat, Shabbat, Yisbehu B'malakutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei onei Shabbat, Yisbehu B'malakutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Ve'hamiti, Atzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat, Shabbat. Emdat Yamin, Tov Karata Shabbat, Shabbat. Yismechu b'malakutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malakutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Shabbat, Yismechu b'malakutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malakutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Adonai sefatai tita, ufiani tehilatera. Adonai sefatai tita, ufiani tehilatera. Eloheinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'gibor V'Hanurah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Levi Yoel Livnei Bneihem, L'Mashmo Yah, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atah Rav V'Hoshia, Mori Atah, Mechapel Chaim V'Chesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matzir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, L'Shei Afar, L'Chavoch Ba'al Yehudot, U'Mido Melech, Melech Memit U'Mekayem, U'Mashiach Yeshua. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Atah kadosh, kadosh, kadosh v'chol yom yom v'chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el Hakadosh.
We continue now with Tefillat Halev, the personal private prayer of the heart, either using what's written in your prayer books until page 63, and more importantly, the words inscribed upon your hearts, after which you may be seated. We continue now with our Seder Kriyat Torah, our service reading the Torah, down on page 246. Please rise.
Baruch Shenatan Torah le'avo Yisrael. Baruch Shenatan Torah le'avo Yisrael. B'kedushat u'b'tzion. B'tzei Torah Adonai Yerushalayim. B'tzion Adonai Yerushalayim. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Adon Eloheinu, Adon Shalom. Gadol Adonai V'Yehovah Shemo Yachad. Ashlosha Devarim, Ashlosha Devarim ha'olam omed, Ashlosha Devarim ha'olam omed, Atorah ve'amarim. Ashlosha Devarim ha'olam omed, Ashlosha Devarim Torah ve'al gemilut masadim. Torah ve'al gemilut masadim. Ashlosha devarim ha'olam omed, Ashlosha devarim ha'olam omed, Ashlosha devarim.
Please be seated. It is my honor to call up, as part of our tradition of having summer lay-led Torah services and Devar Torahs, I want to call up Saul Heckelman as our first korban, our first volunteer of the summer season. He's going to present a Devar Torah before we do our Torah service.
Did I hear korban or sacrifice there? Well, it's interesting because We begin tonight with the story of the red heifer. And I think as a lot of people know, the red heifer was a symbol of actually supposed to be perfect. The heifer that was chosen had to have no disfigurement or no problems at all. And as a reward for that, the heifer gets killed. The heifer gets sacrificed as a symbol of obedience to God. But that's one, and we'll talk about that kind of thing later on with regard to challenges for doing well or not doing well. Then I'm going to go very briefly through some of the sequence of some of the parts of the story and then come back to what it might mean or what it might suggest. After that, Miriam died. And as some of you may remember, there was no water after she died, and some people associate the presence of women with the presence of water, which is the basis of life. And then the Israelites complained that there is no water. So Moses is told, as again it's a famous story, told to speak to the rock and tell it to bring forth water. Well, Moses, who was not perfect either, hits the rock instead. It's a no-no. So because he hit the rock, he and also Aaron, who was with him, are barred from going into the land of promise. So now we have the family, the Trinity in this family, Moses, Miriam, and Aaron. They all die before going into the land of Israel, the promised land. These are our presumed basic leaders, and this is what happens to them. So we'll come back to that also. Then we have the story of Bilam and Balak. As you again may know, Israel was going through the desert, and being one area after another, into various small kingdoms, and destroying the kingdoms as they went through. And so as they approached a particular area, some of the kings got a little nervous about what might happen. According to the text, Moses promised the emissaries of each particular king, no, that would go straight, we'll stay on the straight and narrow. We're not going to take any loot or anything like that, we're paying for anything. Nobody was buying that at all. So they would go out to meet the Israelites to go to battle, and of course they got destroyed. So the story is of Moses and the Israelites being successful all the way through their particular journey there, and being successful by destroying the folks whom they met. So as that happens, the next story has to do with the deadly serpents which infest Israel. And there's no getting away from it. They're fatal. Many of the bites are fatal. And so Moses is told to hold up a rod with a snake around it, with the image of the snake. And for people who are bitten, to look at the snake, to look at that image that Moses is holding up, and then they'll be saved. And that's what happens according to the text. So in effect, something which is very serious, which is deadly, is met, the challenge is met by facing it directly and saying, no, we can deal with that. We're better than that. And according to the text, that's what happens. So there's a series of challenges. On the one hand, they do very well. On the other hand, they have problems with that. And even to start off, there was the story of Korah, who led the rebellion. Some of the mature among us may remember Edward G. Robinson, who was the leader of this rebellion. And he said to Moses, you're no better than the rest of us. Why are you arrogant? Why do you set yourself up as a leader to tell us what to do? So for his pain, he and his few hundred acolytes were buried alive. The earth opens up and they fall into it, and that's the end of Korah. So what you have is a series of incidents where the leadership is challenged. And each time the leadership gets through that, but at a certain cost. So one of the things that occurs to me is that when there are challenges, which there is no panacea. There is no one way to do things. Each situation is different. And one of the things that it helps to keep in mind is we have to look at the particular situation, at the particular things that are causing these problems, and then should try and deal with it in its own terms. Whether it's a school curriculum that's going to solve everything for everybody, whether it's a particular business orientation that's going to be the best way to manage things, that each situation is somewhat different. So to generalize, there are no generalizations. And what you need to do, in looking at these stories that we get through here, is that when we think we're doing very well, when the red heifer is the acolyte of perfection, you gotta watch out. Things aren't always as good as they seem to be. On the other hand, when things are really tough, when we're in a lot of tourists, that's the time to think about what it is we have in our own armamentarium and how we can get back to deal with it. But looking in particular at the particular situation that it is and devise some means to get with that.
Josh. Saul will be chanting from Numbers 22, verses 2 through 6. And it's an honor to call up Genevieve Grace and Mark Zaccardo as our aliot. If you want to follow along and you have a Chumash, it's on page 1050.
I shall not open.
Baruch
Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu b'kol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Amen. Mayar balak ben Zippor, Kol asher asa Yisrael la'emori. Vayagar Moab mipnei ha'am mi'od kirahu. Vayakat Moab mipnei bnei Yisrael. Vayomer Moab el ziknei Midian atah yelachakohu hakal et kol tzivotenu kilpa'o hashor et yerek hasadeh ubalak ben Zippor melech Moab ba'ed V'shalach malachim el Bilam ben Beor Torah asher al hanahar eretz bnei amo v'kraho lemor hinei aham yatam mitzrayim hinei chisa et ein haaretz hu yoshev mimosherim v'ata levana arali etam hatem ki yatzuhu mimeni ulai uchal nakebo v'akashenu min haaretz ki yadati et asher tivarech mevarach v'asher ta'or yu'ar.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tzorchinu, baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד
We continue on page 256. Yehalu Hashem Adonai, He is God from Levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. God's Torah is perfect, reviving the soul. God's teaching is sure, making wise the simple. God's precepts are right, delighting the mind. God's mitzvot are clear, giving light to the eyes. God's word is pure, enduring forever. God's judgments are true and altogether just. Just a few brief announcements before we conclude our service. First off, we are very excited that our clothing-only rummage sale is back. Reitman Hall is being configured for tables and racks and all sorts of things. We are collecting clothing from July 5th to July 25th, and considering we haven't done this since 2020, the fall of 2019, you should have a lot of clothing. I know I do. So we'll take clothing July 5th through July 25th. Please bring clean, gently used clothing and accessories to Reitman Hall during office business hours. Speaking of office business hours, the temple is closed Monday and Tuesday for Independence Day. Also, it's time for you, hold your breath, it's time for you to order your high holiday tickets. Early bird tickets are available now through July 25th on our website, or you can call Uma in the office to get your tickets. they go quickly, so you want to go on and order them now. Lastly, a very, very special thank you to Dave Schlossberg for all the wonderful music, not only tonight, but throughout the years. Speaking of high holidays, we'll see you again for high holidays, for this isn't goodbye and see you later. But thank you for everything, Dave. It has been an unbelievable joy and privilege to be leading services with you in our room, so thank you. We still have, during the summer, Torah study. We have Torah study all year round. Torah study over the summer is on Zoom, and you can join with Rabbi Lodenberg, who's in the back corner hiding for the very last time.
I've never done this before.
Tomorrow is her first day as our assistant rabbi. And I'm sure there's a plethora of email waiting for you that you'll wait to look at. Yeah. Shabbat is over. But we welcome Rabbi Lodenberg to our temple again. And there'll be many events over the summer where you can get to meet her as our rabbi. We're looking forward to that. At the conclusion of our service, we're going to join in the Media Center for Kiddush and Motzi and the opportunity to greet one another. And again, Shabbat Shalom. On this Shabbat Eve, as we join together as one congregation to celebrate creation, the joy of life and living, we turn our thoughts to those in our community for whom life has become precarious because of ill health or hospitalization. O God of healing, we name in our hearts those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers together with the prayers of those who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen them, the healing powers you place within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and their families. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu hu yivarechet ha'olim v'atanefesh rufuatahu hashta'a b'galav zman kariv v'nomar.
Amen.
May the one who blessed our ancestors bless those in need of healing. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit as together we say,
Amen.
Amen.
I also want to give one last thank you to Saul Heckelman for doing our Devar and chanting Torah tonight, as well as to all of our summer volunteers. If at any point you would like to be one of those volunteers, just reach out to the cantor and let them know. We continue now on page 282 as we rise to either body or spirit rolling.
Shabbat
Page 285. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love.
When corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness. When superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. When may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, light is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is the end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen, yet we do not despair. For we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. With hearts that ache and are saddened, we name now those whom death has recently taken from us, those whose families are observing the Shloshim. Remember Elaine Singer, wife of Stuart of blessed memory, mother of Linda and Stephen and Lee of blessed memory, sister of Alan and Jeannie, and grandmother of Liam. And we remember Raymond Benno, husband of Rosie, father of Karen, Stephen and Melissa, grandfather of Courtney and Jared, Alex and Michael. And on this Shabbat, we also recall those dear ones who died at this season years past, whose names we record with love in our service booklet this evening. Their names are forever bound to our hearts and are permanently inscribed throughout our building. If you're joining us tonight online to say Kaddish for a loved one, I invite you to say their names aloud at home or type their names into the chat so that we can lift up the names of your loved ones together with you. And if you're here to say Kaddish in person, I invite you to say their names as I look around our Beit Midrash.
Carolyn Leibowitz.
Michael Firestein.
Nicole Barone.
Lynn Singer.
Zikronam Lebracha. May all their names and memories only be for a blessing. I invite all the mourners of Abel to rise for Kaddish Tome. Mourners Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal,
Amen.
Yalmati Drak Rute, Yamlik Makute, V'chayimon, Yomekon, V'chayim Beit Yisrael, V'agalam Bisman Kariv Yibru,
Amen.
Yeshmei Rabban Barach Le'olam V'Amaya.
Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitbahar V'Yitzorach V'Yitnaseh,
Bitatar, Bitaleh, Bitalal, Shemei, Kudusha,
Berichu.
Leila, Binko, Birkata, Bashirata, Pushrakata, Venekamata, Damiran, Vilma, Bitru,
Amen.
B'nai Shlama, Rabbi, Shemaya, V'chaim, Aleinu, V'al Israel,
Amen.
Oseh Shalom, V'rama, V'yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'al Israel,
Amen.
The source of peace, bestow peace to all who mourn. May we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say,
Amen.
We close our service this evening with the singing of Adon Olam on page 321 as we rise. Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terech kol Yisir Tivra, Me'ez Nason Le'Refso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Me'acharei Kivot HaKol, Le'Adon Yivot Olam, Me'u Hayam, Me'u Oreh, Me'u Yeh B'Tzifara, Me'u Yeh B'Tzifara, Me'u Echad B'Yesh Sheni, Me'am Shilo, Me'am Hira, Me'li Reshit, Me'li Tachlit, Me'lo Ha'oz, Me'am Yisra, Me'lo Ha'oz, Me'am Yisra, Me'u Eli, B'chai V'rali, B'tzur V'li, B'nei Zara, Me'u Nisi, U'manosli, Me'lach Kosi, Me'yom Ekra, Me'lach Kosi, Me'yom Ekra, Me'ado Afiruki, Me'ekisha, Me'ayira, Me'imruki, Eliati, Adonai li, Me'lo Mira, Adonai li, Me'lo
may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who are hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Few hours. All was a strong.